time to call your lawyer.
It's time for Ask the Lawyer on Kicks Country 92.9. We spend a little time with our friend and attorney for the injured, Bruce L. Scheiner, and ask the question of the week. Perhaps this is the week that your question gets answered. Just received a whole bunch of questions recently. So let's see if today yours comes up. Now, what I need to remind you... Need to remind you that what you're about to hear is just general legal conversation. It is not meant to be specific advice in your specific legal situation. You can't possibly get that without sitting down face-to-face with somebody in the legal profession and fleshing out the details of your individual circumstances. But there's some general legal advice that's worth passing along. Don't sign any documents. Don't make any statements. And don't let anybody record any conversations until you've spoken to a professional. If you'd like to speak to a professional, the office of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates offer free consultations. I'll give you that information here in just a moment and tell you how to submit a question if you've got one of those to submit as well. For the moment, though, let's welcome our guest and friend, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured at Kicks Country 92.9. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Todd. How are you doing?
Just fine. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing especially well. We just celebrated Memorial Day, and we did two special workouts in honor of our troops.
Two special workouts?
Yeah, we go to CrossFit every morning, and on Memorial Day, they have the Lieutenant Murph workout, and that encompasses a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 sit-ups, followed by a mile run.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, obviously, that's something that the troops deserve, that kind of effort, but that must have been very challenging.
Well, it was challenging, but, you know, age has its benefits, and I was able to cut it back a little bit.
Okay. The important thing is it was done to honor our military heroes. That's really what it's all about.
Exactly.
All right. Well, glad to have you with us as we get into a question or two here, and almost time for hurricane season, so who knows what that's going to bring, but I don't want to even get into that at this point. I'd rather get into the first question that I have sitting in front of me here, if that's okay.
It certainly is.
All right, let's get right into it. Here's what it says. My wife went to one of those chain dental offices to have her wisdom teeth removed. She was given anesthesia, which is a normal procedure. My wife is somewhat resistant to anesthesia, so she woke up to discover the dentist had lifted her dress up and was touching her private parts. She, in a loud voice, asked, "What are you doing?" A dental assistant entered the room and had seen her with her dress up, although the dentist had stepped away from her. Needless to say, my wife has been greatly traumatized by this experience and wants to know what we can do. Well, I'm sorry to say that we are again having a conversation on this subject. It seems like there's way too much inappropriate behavior like this going on these days, Bruce. But let's get down to what this question is all about. What would you recommend?
You know, these are very technical type of cases, and the most important thing is as soon as you experience an untoward situation like this is to contact a lawyer experienced with these type of cases.
Okay.
The good thing for her probably is that it was a chain of dental offices, so hopefully that they have sufficient resources or insurance to cover any restitution that this person may be entitled to. Mm-hmm. A large factor is how much this incident really disturbed this lady, and did she require psychological treatment for it? But if she did, these are very significant cases, and people experience these deviant acts are entitled to substantial restitution.
Okay. So it says here she's been very traumatized, which of course is completely understandable, and she may not have even begun any kind of therapeutic counseling or anything like that at this point. Does she need to wait until there can be some kind of discussion about that, or should she just go ahead and get started?
If she's having trauma, as this indicates, she should see someone to help her with it as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, probably the first stop should be with a legal professional that could sort through the issues here and get her on a path that's maybe parallel to the therapeutic counseling. Some legal counseling is what I'm suggesting.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I don't know what it's going to take for us to get past this. Maybe it's been always going on. We are just more aware of it these days. I know you, in your practice, see more of this than the average Joe does. We only hear about it when it pops up on the news, and you deal with it every single day. I don't know what the answer is, Bruce, but I don't want to hear about this anymore, do you?
Well, I certainly don't want to hear about it, but I think in line with the Me Too movement, that it's just becoming much more, or people are much more aware and willing to come out of the closet and talk about it.
Yeah, I can see that, where it's always been difficult to talk about, and the Me Too movement has made it a little bit more open, I guess. So, well, if it happens, then you know what to do. Get some advice from a legal professional. Bruce, once again, thank you so much for your wise counsel on this particular and difficult subject.
Well, it's my pleasure, Todd, as always.
All right, well, we look forward to talking to you next week, too, because I'm sure we will have another great question and get some equally informative answers. Appreciate it very much. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Now, let me explain. If you'd like to get a question in for next week's consideration, please do. You go to our website, get that question submitted at KixCountry929.com, KIXCountry929.com. You might not want to wait, though, and take the wait-and-see approach. You might want to jump right on it because you've got a legal situation that needs immediate advice. Then ask for a free consultation by calling my friend Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates at their Port Charlotte office, 941-743-7777. That's 743-7777. 743-7777. Tell them that Todd Matthews sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.